beyond the security, coming to the politics of things, this Akwatia by-election, we would have 4 political parties taking part in this by-election. But then, clearly, it's a straight fight between these two. We're talking about private legal practitioner Bernard Bediako-Bedu of the NDC and also Solomon Asumedu. He's a minor of the NPP. Now, this, and we also have the APC also, and then the LPG, the all taking part in this particular election. That's the by-election in the Akwatia constituency. But it goes without saying that these two are going to go neck to neck on this. And there's a reason why. If you look at the electoral history in that Akwatia constituency, it tells you a story. From 1992, the NDC won that election in the Akwatia constituency, although the MPP boycotted that election. Gilbert Kwesi of the NDC won the Akwatia constituency in 1992, 1996. He retained this particular constituency on the ticket of the NDC. That's Gilbert Kwesi. And then you also had in 2000, that's when the MPP won this constituency for the first time. That's when Kingston Akomen-Kisi won this Akwatia constituency for the first time for the NPP. He retained it in 2004. That's Kingston Kisi for the NPP. And in 2008, we had Kofi Asare showing up, won it for the NPP. It is in 2008 that we had that violence in that constituency. Then that's the reason why you've seen a lot of security measures being put in place ahead of this by-election. 2008, we had Baba Jamal for the NDC and Kofi Asare, who eventually was declared winner after that dispute. In 2012, Baba Jamal came back strongly, won this constituency for the NDC. In 2016, he lost it to Mercy Edujemfi of the NPP. And then also in 2020, Henry Boache, this man also contested and in fact won on the ticket of the NDC. But in 2024, the late NSC Alkumi went head-to-head with Henry Boache. There was a dispute. NSC Alkumi was declared MP-elect, but unfortunately, we lost him. And that has led to this by-election that's going to see these two go head-to-head. And the man who's been doing quite some work ahead of this by-election in that constituency, I'm talking about Musa Dankwa, already put out his first poll on August 2. This poll was conducted between the 1st and 2nd of August. Very interesting. Mr. Dankwa is joining us on Zoom right now, but just to put it in context, the sample size for that August 1st, August 2nd, 2025 poll in the Akwatia constituency. Bear in mind, within that period, the NDC had not elected their parliamentary candidate as yet. Bernard Bedu was elected on the 4th of August. But the sample size for this was 2,087, 21 electoral areas, and were also sampled with the probability randoms online sampling method with a 99% confidence level. And these are the various electoral areas. And some of the questions that were asked: president's job approval, and then also the direction of the country and the economic conditions of the people. They say that the constituents who were sampled in all these 21 electoral areas in the Akwatia constituency say they believe that their conditions are going to or has improved since John Mahama took office, and 47% of them said so. And the key issues that they say would likely influence the decisions on who to vote for, 57% of them say development projects. Development projects. Cost of living comes in strongly second, and then the quality of education. But then on the 1st and 2nd August, that poll, when Musa Dankwa did this, the NPP's Solomon Asumedu came tops. Reason being, he had already been elected. Mr. Dankwa is joining us on Zoom right now. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. I wanted to put this particular context in place because I recall when you put this out, there was that specific question about the NDC at the time hadn't elected Bernard Bedu, but then you sampled him as well, just with the other two, Henry Boache and then also the third, that's Ali, and just to see what the outcome will be. How are things looking now? Are you preparing for another poll before September 2?
Thank you very much for having me, Alfred. How are things going now? I have no idea what is happening in Akwatia right now. But fortunately, we'll be going back to Akwatia next week. and we'll cover all the electoral areas that we covered last time. And on the 31st of August, we'll come back and tell you what the situation is as far as Akwatia is concerned.
I see. But then again, if you look at some of the questions that you asked, Mr. Dankwa, about the direction of the country, the key issues that will influence their decisions to vote, development projects, cost of living, and then also the economic situation that they find themselves in. That the outcome of that question also gives a certain direction, does it not?
Yes, if you are the ruling NDC, it gives you a bit of hope, even though your candidate is behind slightly. But if you look at the issue that bother them, that they will consider before they vote, there are things that opposition parties don't provide. So that may work in their favor if the voters stick to the key issues. But you never know what they will do until you actually poll them again. So we'll see whether it is still the three issues or some other issues have emerged to be the top issues for them.
But then again, when you ask them about the president's job approval, and as I did indicate earlier, this is not a stronghold in the true sense of the word, right, for both MPP and NDC, because since 92, MPP has won it 9 times, NDC has won it 8 times if you look at the elections over the period. So it's not like a straight stronghold for any of them, is it?
Akwatia is a swing, even though MPP has had it for some time. But the demography of the constituency is such that it can be very, very tricky and very close. If you look at the last election, the MPP candidate late for me won it by just 6 percentage points. And if you look at the poll currently, or the last time the poll, MPP was still leading with 6 percentage points. So it shows that Akwatia is always hotly contested constituency.
I see. But then again, looking at what happened in 2020, and then also in 2024, you did some polls ahead of that poll, that election in 2024. Before we went in there in the 2024 election, both the MPP and the NDC had won the Akwatia constituency 4 times each. Then in 2024, the NDC, in fact, the NPP won it, increasing the number of times they've won it by an additional 1. So they won it 5 times as against the NDC winning it 4 times. Right. How would that influence the coming days, especially because now the NDC has a different candidate in the person of this man, Bernard Baidu?
I don't believe the historical record, the influence what's going to happen next week on the 2nd September. What would be important is the quality of the candidates that the parties have elected, both the NDC and MPP, and also whether for Sumedu, whether he can carry his party to the finish line, and in the case of the NDC candidate, whether his party can carry him. I believe that if MPP wins, it will do so because of the candidate. And if NDC wins, it will be because of the party's brand.
I appreciate you for this. And when are we to expect the next poll in Akwatia ahead of the September 2 election?
Sorry, 28th August, and the report will be out on the 31st August.
Sunday. On the 31st of August?
Yes.
Okay, that's next week Sunday, I guess. Yeah, we'll wait for that. Thank you so much, Mr. Dankwa. Mr. Dankwa is Executive Director of Global Info Analytics, and they've been doing some polls ahead of the Akwatia by-election. There is some news coming through right now from the Fisheries Commission on an accident at sea of an inshore fishing vessel. And we have a statement from the Fisheries Commission. We will put on the screen in a bit. But a locally registered wooden vessel named Joy George struck a rock near the shores of Elmina Castle around 12 noon on Tuesday, August 20. The vessel, which operates with an inbuilt engine, carries the registration number CR338EL and is owned by a Ghanaian. According to reports, all 23 crew members on board were safely accounted for, with no injuries or casualties recorded. The vessel is currently stationed at the breakwaters, a location adjacent the historic Elmina Castle in the central region. So that's information that we have of this accident at sea. And